I want to give an update on a series of incidents that occurred yesterday, July 11th. And these incidents are tied to a murder that occurred in this city back on July the 9th. So I'll just kind of start with yesterday's events and excuse me, explain how it ties back to the events on the 9th. So we began receiving 911 calls at 2:06 p.m. yesterday. As best as we can tell, this is the chronological order that we believe that these occurred in. The first one occurred at 8100 block of South IH-35 on the northbound frontage road. We received a call at 2:06 p.m. In that one, we had a 33-year-old Hispanic female victim who was shot. She did have a gunshot wound to her head. She was in her vehicle with 3 children. Thank goodness that the bullet wound was not fatal and was superficial. She was transported to the hospital and is recovering well. The second one occurred in the 5300 block of Ponciana Drive. This was one in which we did receive delayed reporting. That call came in at 2:40 p.m. The third one was in the 1500 block of South Lamar. We received a 911 call on that one at 2:32. And then the final one occurred in the 4000 block of South Lamar. That call came in at 2:35 p.m. On that fourth one, again, we had somebody that was injured. It appears that the bullet entered the vehicle and went right behind the driver's head. And she did experience injuries on her face with the glass hitting her face. And that was a 25-year-old white female who was injured in that one. So in all 4 shootings, there appeared to be no signs of provocation on the part of the victims. They appear to be completely random in nature. And in most of them, either the victim or a witness was reporting an SUV, in particular a white Chevy Tahoe, that appeared to be involved. As these calls obviously are coming in, our real-time crime center is gathering that information and is seeing the trend and made immediate notifications to the appropriate units, including our homicide unit, because of just the nature of the call. Patrol citywide was notified, given the descriptions that we had of both the suspect and the vehicle, and obviously we were on the hunt to find this individual and to stop this activity as quickly as possible. After those 4 occurred, there were no further shootings. However, obviously we continued to work the case. From when we went out to the original, the first one that I told you about in the 8100 block of South IH-35, we were able to locate surveillance video that was very good, and actually we were able to get identifying information for what we believe to be the suspect vehicle. As we were developing that information and who that vehicle was registered to, we began to make ties back to the murder that occurred on the 9th. There were some similarities based on some very preliminary information we had received in that investigation that made it sound very similar to this individual. So that was just kind of on our radar at that point. We did not have that affirmative tie yet. Just as a reminder, that one occurred at the 1500 block of South IH-35, very close to the scene of the 3rd incident that happened yesterday. And the murder victim was Christian Maroney, a 32-year-old white male. On that particular murder, we did not have a motive developed yet, and we're still in the very, very preliminary stages of that investigation. Given that we knew that these two might be linked, we immediately began ballistics testing on some of the evidence that was recovered from the scenes yesterday against that of what was recovered on the 9th. And kind of later on, after we had the person in custody, What we have found out is that ballistics testing has shown that the same weapon was used in both incidents. At about 5 o'clock yesterday, Travis County received a call of a male shooting a firearm at the 6300 block of Bob Wentz Park Road. We responded out there, and through this process, like I said, as we were developing the information, it looked like this was going to be our same person that was involved in all of this, and we identified him as Charles Curry, a white male, born December 25th, 1988. He does reside here in Austin and is the registered owner of the vehicle that we were after. Members of our Lone Star Fugitive Task Force, which is a task force that is very active in seeking fugitives and plays a large part in taking down some of the horse criminals that are on the run, got involved in this and just did an outstanding job once they got involved in locating this individual and actually taking him into custody without incident in the 1500 block of South Lamar. So the investigation right now is ongoing. The charge that has already been filed, is a aggravated assault charge. However, we do anticipate filing the murder charge regarding this murder that I've been discussing very, very soon. And the person is in custody. We don't believe that this is part of something that is continuing ongoing. We think that it is isolated in nature. And right now, the motive is really unknown.